Okay, so this is how I study renal anatomy. We have the cortex, okay? The cortex is this one right here, number 1. Cortex, okay? It's this whole entire region up here. Cortex. Renal pyramid is this entire, renal pyramid is actually just this part right here. Okay, renal pyramid. Okay, and renal, cortex region, renal pyramid. Now that's also the medulla. Remember that, right? The medulla consists of the pyramids, and then cortex is on top. Now you see these veins and arteries right here. Now this artery right here, the red one right here, that's the interlobar artery, and then it goes into the arcuate arteries, which goes on top here. And all these red ones that are branching off from the arcuate arteries, those are known as cortical radiate arteries. And of course, the blue one is cortical radiate veins. And of course, this one in between here, that one is known as the interlobar veins. Okay, now we're going to go look a little bit deeper. Renal pyramid, like I said, is this region right here, is number 2 over here. This region. Number 3 right here, this is the papilla, right? Papilla, the renal papilla, which is known as like the nipple, renal papilla. Arcuate artery and vein, I showed you. Cortical radiate artery and vein, I showed you. Cortical nephron is number 6 here. Cortical nephron. Okay, this is the cortical nephron. Okay, and number 7 down here. This is the juxtamedullary nephron. Juxtamedullary nephron. Cortical nephron. Okay, remember that the juxtamedullary nephron, that's the longer one, all right? Because that's a longer word. Juxtamedullary nephron. Cortical nephron is shorter. Remember that. And then we have the renal corpuscle, which is at number 8. Renal corpuscle is one of these little balls here, as you can see. Renal corpuscle. Okay, these are the renal corpuscle. And then we have the proximal convoluted tubule, which is right off of the renal corpuscle. Okay, so it's renal corpuscle and then the proximal convoluted tubule. And then, of course, it goes to the descending limb of loop of Henle, and then the ascending loop of Henle. And then we go to number 12, which is up here, right? So the ascending loop of Henle goes up here, and this region right here is called the distal convoluted tubule. Remember, distal convoluted tubule, and then this is the proximal convoluted tubule with a renal corpuscle. Okay. Now we move on to the collecting duct. This is the collecting duct. Collecting duct, distal convoluted tubule, ascending loop of Henle, juxtamedullary nephron. This is the descending loop of Henle, and this is the proximal convoluted tubule right here, and then this is the renal corpuscle. Okay, and these again are the cortical radiate arteries and veins up here. Okay, arteries are red, veins are blue. Okay. Okay, so last but not least, we have this part right here, which is basically the renal corpuscle. Okay, now this is glomerulus. Okay, so this is the glomerulus right here. Okay, from right here to down here, this is the glomerulus or glomerular capillaries. Okay, I believe possibly this one right here is the afferent atriole, which is the bigger one. Okay, afferent atriole is the bigger one, and this is the efferent one, which is smaller. Efferent atriole. And then we have the juxtaglomerular apparatus, glomerular, juxtaglomerular apparatus with the granular cells and the macula densa cells. Okay, the macula densa cells are, I believe, these right here. And then inside of this, that would be the juxtaglomerular cells, the juxtaglomerular cells, or the granular cells. Here's a better picture of it right here. Okay, so like I said, again, this is the afferent, right? Atrioli, and then we have the glomerulus, right, or the glomerular capillaries. Efferent is a smaller one, and inside the afferent atrioli, we have the juxtaglomerular cells, or the granular cells, and then right next to it we have the macula densa cells. Okay, now we have the Bowman's capsule. Is this whole entire thing right here? Bowman's capsule. This whole entire thing right here. Now this right here is the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna go back to this one right here. Okay, so this right here, this big thing right here, Bowman's capsule, right? And this is the macula densa right here. Macula densa cells are in here, and then in here the afferent one. In here the juxtaglomerular cells, or the granular cells in here, and then we have the Bowman's capsule, like I said earlier, and then the proximal convoluted cells.